Good morning, all. Ira Epstein with your morning flash update, and this update is for the morning of Tuesday, 7/11. Sounds like a gambling term, doesn't it? 7/11. And here we are at about 8:10 a.m. Central Time. I want to thank all of you that wrote to wish my family member the best. As it turns out, they got her there. They did everything they had to do invasively, and they found it was inoperable on this phase. There's another phase that she's right into. With any luck, it's going to be the second. They knew that this could happen, and we'll see what happens. It's not cancer, and that's the good thing. All right. So while gone, I'm thinking to myself, where are we? Well, yesterday, 3 Fed members come out, Daly, Mester, and Barr, and they're all saying there's more rate hikes that are needed. I agree. So they're cementing in, that's the term you have to use, the July 26th rate hike. After that, we'll see what the data shows, because remember, you don't get an August Fed meeting, you get one in September. Tomorrow, you get a series of CPI numbers. How much is inflation falling, and the pace. That's really the question. It's not is it going up, it's how much it's falling. And then on Thursday, we get the Fed PPI numbers. So in sitting back, remember, the seasonals are up in September normally in the combination of the Dow and the NASDAQ. And I pay attention to seasonals. Do they always work? Of course not. But these, one of them's worked 15 out of 15 years, the other 14 out of 15. So like it or not, I think the market, what it's done is it's already accepted the fact that we've got a quarter-point hike coming July 26th. We're expecting CPI is going to fall some amount. Where's the bear news? So I think the path of least resistance mentally for the stock market is to the upside. By the way, today, I write an important article on the restructuring of parts of the NASDAQ that takes place because of the valuations of certain stocks that have carried the value over. I'm not going to go into it here. It's in my full research report. You can go to our website at iraepstein.com and go to the free offers. Sign up for Ira's sampling of my research. You'll see it. It's going to be out at 11:30 this morning. In the grain market, you're in a classic weather market. One week it's good, the next week it's bad. You go home over the weekend, you don't know what to expect. You get a pop, you'll see where it's at. I'm watching the 2-10-year spread. Unable to stay over 100 right now. I think that's important. I think that you're also seeing traders are coming out and saying, if you go to the back end and you want to make money and you buy the bonds, for example, that they expect that yields will fall and the bonds will come up in value over time, and they're recommending those to their clients. I'm watching the cotton market. Cotton market's very interesting here. It's rejecting a downside. That's important. On the energy markets, you can see the market is holding in here. The market's heard from the Biden administration that it's going to buy 12 million barrels this year that we're in. It's not enough. Think about it. We sold 180 million barrels since the Ukraine war. How do you, at 12 million barrels, get anything done even during the president's term if he wins another term? Can't be done. When I look at the metals, as long as the dollar stays under pressure, I think gold's coming alive. The copper market keeps getting frustrated by the small steps China's taking to shore up the the real estate sector, and that's what they're working on right now, steps to shore that up. Yesterday, they made a big step where they're going to give lenders another year to repay loans. They won't go on a default list if they can't make the payment. They're buying some time, and in that time, things won't just get better. You have to make them better, so expect more out of the Chinese government. They know the problem. How do they address it's now going to be the key. As for today, if we take a look, we had the National Federation of Independent Business Index. Not a big report. It's a very minor report, but a nice improvement of 1.5 points. Redbook weekly retail sales went negative. Was I not telling you, and I know I've said this over and over here, go on if you're looking at YouTube, it's a question of when it does this. Why? This report was running at 10%, 12% increases. Every time it's been coming down, it's now reflecting the consumer as to what's going on. I don't know if you saw the debt structures yesterday that the Federal Reserve put out, but they're large, okay? So the consumer's just loading up on debt, credit card debt, and this is not the best thing that we can see. New York Fed President Williams going to moderate a conference today with Mark Zondi around 10 o'clock Central Time. API will come out at 3:30 with their numbers in the marketplace. And here's something that I think you want to take a look at because you're not going to see it very often. And what this is, it's from Modern Trader. And this was the old Futures magazine. They have closed down. You can no longer get that. They've closed their websites and everything else. I, of course, is privy to a number of things that they've given me that I worked with them on decades ago and continued working on them on. And I think you'll find this some of the most interesting readings you've seen. Number one, full of pictures, showing you how the patterns work, what they are. This hasn't changed. If anything, the older stuff's better than the newer stuff, I've got to tell you. 10 rules traders follow. Well, this is all about common sense and how do you work with that. How do you get this? Go to the website. Under free offers, take a look at everything we've got there, choose what you want. And if you want to see that article that I'm writing today on the NASDAQ, be sure you do it now, this morning, because once it's out at 11:30, I guess you can go on the website and look at it again in our member login area that you will have access to for a few weeks. I'm Ira Epstein. I'll see you at the end of the day with our market wrap-ups. Trade well.